Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another Season 4 Masteries video for you guys. This is the offensive tree. If you want to see the defensive and utility trees, then click the links in the description, but those videos will also be on screen towards the end. You can watch those videos. The reason why I split these videos up into 3 different separate videos instead of just one is because I'd rather have 3 smaller videos than the one huge mammoth video. So yeah, jumping right into this, bearing in mind this is all the PvE stuff, so things may change. But first of all, we have Feast here, where killing a unit restores 2 health and 1 mana. Now this isn't really that great, but it's okay I suppose, and it's only 1 point, so at the end of the day you could take this if you really wanted it. There are 10 minions in the jungle aside from the buffs, so if you did a full clear you'd be getting 20 health and 10 mana extra, which isn't too bad, though you're unlikely to be full clearing, and you only get benefit out of this when you are clearing. It's not like health regen or anything like that. You have to kill things to get used out of this. I personally think this is probably better on a laner, but even then it's a bit iffy. But it's not great, but it is only 1 point. Now these 2 masteries are really good. The sorcery and the fury just increase attack speed and increase cooldown reduction. They're really solid, you can't go wrong with those. Butcher here is basic attacks and single target spells deal an additional 2 damage to minions and monsters, so you just clear a little bit quicker. It's not amazing amount of damage, but it's okay I guess, and if you hit something like 5 times, then that's already 10 extra damage you've done to something, which is... it's not really too impressive, but it's only 1 point at the end of the day. Now, double-edged sword is a real double-edged sword for junglers. Basically, it says here the melee champions deal an additional 2% damage and receive an additional 1% damage, and ranged deal an additional 1% and receive an additional 1.5 and receive an additional 1.5% damage. This is a bigger deal for junglers than it is for laners, and by bigger deal I mean it's more risky because you're getting hit all the time as a jungler. You're always taking damage because you're clearing the jungle. Whereas if you're someone like an AD carry, then you can avoid a lot of the damage you take. And incoming damage isn't like 100% guaranteed on you. So as a jungler, you do take a lot of damage, so you are punished a lot for taking this mastery. But I do think it's worth it. The bonus damage is, in my opinion, is worth taking this. Brute force and just AD per level. Mental force, AP per level. Those are just really solid if you're AD or if you're an AP jungler. Spell weaving here for 1 point, damaging an enemy champion with basic attack, increases spell damage by 1%, stacking up to 3 times. This one is a really iffy one for me because it is 1 point though, so again 1 point, you can't go too wrong by dishing out just the 1 point. But damaging an enemy champion, so it doesn't work in the jungle, it's only when you're fighting. With basic attack, increases spell damage by 1%. And your spell damage is all your abilities. Unless this is an on-hit ability, then it's all your abilities. It's not magic damage, it's your spell damage. So Lee Sin, his Q, his E, his R, that's all spell damage. So that would be increased by this. And it's not too bad. It's kind of good, but at the same time, it's a bit iffy. I mean, the percentage isn't going to be meaning too much to you early game. And like I say, you can't use it in the jungle, so it's not really that great. Martial Mastery here just 5 flat AD, which is really nice. I'll be picking this up on a lot of junglers, I think. Arcane Mastery here is 8 flat AP. Now, this is the difference here in Season 3 and in Season 4. In Season 3, right here, you would have 8% Armor Pen and 8% Spell Pen. But right now, in Season 4, you have 5 AD and 8 AP. So on someone like Elise and Sejuani, I would be taking 9 points on offensive just for the Spell Pen, because all their damage, a lot of their damage is magic damage. They don't scale too well with AP, but it's magic damage, so the Spell Pen is good. But this is where the problem comes in Season 4. This now no longer is magic. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today. This no longer is Spell Pen. This is AP. So it's not good to be getting on someone like Elise or Sejuani. It's not worth it anymore. So I wouldn't be taking these on the on Elise or Sejuani, or people like that who don't scale very well with AP but still do magic damage. However, it is still good on people who do scale with AP, so someone like Fiddlesticks. Executioner here increases damage dealt to champions below 20% below 20% health by 5%. 3 points in it. This is pretty worth, in my opinion. Yeah, this is pretty solid mastery. Blade weaving here is the opposite of spell weaving, where damaging an enemy champion with a spell increases attack damage by 1%, stacking up to 3 times. I don't really think that's very good. Again, it's only the enemy champions it's procs off of, and secondly, you're not really like if you're proccing something off your basic attacks, then you can endlessly like proc this over and over and over again, because your basic attacks don't have a cooldown. Apart from attack speed, they don't have a cooldown like spells have. So if you're doing something which procs off of spells to increase your basic attack damage, then you're really going to have to be putting out a lot of spells. And it's just, I don't really think it works a lot, especially not for junglers. The only way I can see it's working is someone like Teemo with his E, which is a spell which procs off of all of your basic attacks. that might trigger this. If it does trigger it, I don't know if it does or not, but if it does, then maybe this is worth it on someone like him. But again, that's not really related to the jungle, so I'd stay away from this for the jungler. Warlord here increases your bonus attack damage, and Archmage increases your bonus AP. Again, if you're an AD or an AP champion, these are all really good to pick up. Dangerous Game here comes out of Executioner. Killing a champion restores up to 5% missing health and mana. This is pretty solid, but you have to get the killing blow. This isn't working off assists, it's only off kills, which is something which I'm a bit iffy about. But it's not too bad, I suppose. But again, getting that kill, I don't know. It's 5% missing health and mana. It's that works the most in late game when you have a lot of health or a lot of missing health to really make a huge amount of use out of this. But in the late game, you're not going to be last hitting champions because you're not gonna. That's just not what you're going to be doing. That's going to be your carry's job. So I don't really think this is too great just because it doesn't work off assists. If it did work off assists, maybe it did like half the effect off assists or something, then it would be good. But as it stands, I don't really like it too much. Frenzy here, critical hits grant 5% attack speed for 3 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. You would not pick this up on most junglers. The only ones you'd pick this up on are people who would be building crit or have crit built into their kit. Most junglers would not be building crit whatsoever. They'd just be getting AD or they'd be going bruiserish or whatever, but they would not be getting crit. The only exceptions I can think of really, Master Yi, because he just builds a lot of crit, whether that's Phantom Dancers or Stack Shivs or Infinity Edges or Yumus or whatever. He has a lot of crit in his build, so you would be getting this on him. And Shaco, for the same reasons with the build, he has a very similar build to a Master Yi, or he can do. However, he also has crit built into his kit, his Q. Whenever you use your Deceive, your next basic attack is a crit. So it procs off of all of these, all these crit masteries. So this Frenzy will help him with that. So I would definitely be getting this on people like Shaco and Master Yi, but not on most junglers. Devastating Strikes here, 2% armor and magic pen for 3 points. Probably the best mastery out of all the masteries in every single mastery. Just for 3 points, you get 6% armor and magic pen. Really nice in my opinion. Arcane Blade here is the same as Spell Blade. You won't really be worrying about that too much. Your basic attack is still extra damage based off of your AP. Doesn't really mean anything for the jungler. And here Havoc is 3% increased damage. Again, just a pretty amazing point, especially just for that 1 point. You have to sink into it. So that's the offensive tree. The champions I'll be running this on, you could run this on the bruisers, so people like Jarvan, like Vi, who are, even if they're tanky, you can still take 21 points in offense and just be very aggressive early. You could also run this on people who see on like Jarvan and Vi. You could also go into the defensive tree if you wanted, like 921 or something like that. But people like Master Yi and Shaco, I would always go 21 points into offensive, and if you are playing a mage in the jungle, I would either go 21 points into offensive tree, taking all the AP points, or I would go like 9-0-21, taking a lot of utility points. But you can go to this, you can take offensive masteries on a lot of junglers actually, if you want to. It comes down to a lot of your playstyle preference. But that's my opinions on the mastery, the offensive page, the offensive mastery tree. If you want to see the defensive and the utility trees, feel free to click the links on screen now. And you can also see the links in the description. But thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely day. And I will see you in my next video.